Hi folks, Dave with DBS Tech Talk, and today we're going to talk about a portable in-ear monitor made by Adv-Sound. It's called the Model 3. Now this is a unique in-ear in that it can both be wired and Bluetooth. And I actually ordered this kind of by accident. I didn't mean to hit the purchase now, buy now button on Amazon. But when they showed up or when they ordered, I was like, okay, I'll take a chance because I always can return them if I don't like them. And so when they arrived, they kind of they arrived just in time to be able to take a trip overseas. And so my wife and I went on vacation. We went on our trip, and I used these on the airplane, and I also used my RHA CL750s. And even though these don't compare at all to the CL750s sound wise, these actually worked better as far as noise isolation. So a little bit more on that in a little bit. So anyways, the Adv-Sound Model 3s. They are about $80 on Amazon. They come with a nice little box. The packaging was very nice on it. Comes with a nice little case to store them in. Has plenty of room to be able to wrap it in and put them in. It comes with the Bluetooth headphone adapter, which is kind of interesting. Not exactly the most comfortable thing in the world. This sits behind your neck, and then these connect to your headphones and they go in your ears. And it disconnects just by a simple pull. And then on here is your remote control. You just turn it on and off. Inside of this, where it disconnects, you have a little magnet that holds it together, obviously, and then also your micro USB charging slot. And that's about it on that. I'll talk about the sound of Bluetooth in a moment. They give you plenty of tips. You get a set of green tips, large, medium, and small, and then a bunch of silicon tips, small, medium, and large. And I found that the foam tips actually work a little bit better, just from isolating a little bit better. Plus, they're more comfortable. These silicone tips are kind of thin and mushy, and so when they go in your ear, all you feel is the little bit of the driver of the in-ear instead, kind of poking in there, and I don't care for that feel. Plus, the sound is a little thin sounding with the silicone tips. The odd thing about the foam tips, normally I need either medium or large from Comply, depending on the fit of the in-ears. And on these I use small. I don't know what the difference is in density, but they are very they're longer this way, and they're very mushy and pliable, which maybe that adds to just being smaller, I'm not sure, but they fit very comfortably. On the device itself, they disconnect using MMXC connector, and then the tips come off, and so as you can see, it's a very small, I don't know if you can really see that on camera, but they're very small, and the nozzle for the tip is extremely small and skinny. And so that's how you change your cable to either be Bluetooth or not, and they just connect back on very easily. They go into your ear. They are marked left and right very easily. Don't really even have to mush up the tips very much, and they just go in your ear. The cable is a little excuse me, spongy and janky. It has never really straightened out. for me, but it doesn't get in the way. And then there is a microphone button right here for play, pause, answer phone calls. And it goes into a right angle, does have a very small step down. It does fit into pretty much any phone with a case on it. It's very skinny, has a nice strain relief on it. Very minimal as far as branding. It has the Advanced logo right there on the microphone slash controller, but other than that it doesn't have anything on the headphones themselves. The only writing on the headphone is a little small left and right, and then there's an ADV next to the R or L. Other than that, minimal. Comfort wise, they're one of the more comfortable for me. They fit right in the ear bed, very comfortable. They don't press down, they don't put pressure on the holes or on the earlobes. The memory foam it's very, once it's in place, it's very stiff, but it's not like to the point where it's never going to move. You can move them around. I do find that they don't curl completely around the ear. So if you wear glasses and stuff, every now and then you'll have to adjust your glasses. And if you happen to take your glasses off, you're going to very possibly have to readjust the in-ear again. But it's not, they're not like the RHA where once they're in place, they're staying in place. So that's one small gripe on me. Isolation wise though, they're very good. When I had them on an airplane, I could not hear anything. I had to take them out every single time the flight attendant came by to ask if I wanted a drink or needed any assistance, how we were doing, things like that. If my wife tapped me and wanted me to talk, I had to completely take them out. And I didn't even have my music up very loud or movies. But so they isolate extremely well with the foam tips. Now silicones, obviously they don't isolate as well. The length is just about perfect for portable use. So you don't have a whole lot of extra wire to tuck into your pockets or anything of the sort, and they work great. The Bluetooth, on the other hand, you look like a moron with it. You have a bunch of cables around, and then the other thing, it's just not comfortable. It's maybe I just don't like the feel of it, but the cable is very stiff. This is extremely stiff. Unlike the ones on the ear, on the wired one, this is heavy. It comes apart quite a bit. Never fell off. It's just I just didn't care for it. As far as sound goes, with the Bluetooth, sounds great. Aptx keeps everything connected and running smoothly. Has the same tone as it does wired. I didn't really notice a significant difference as far as sound. The only thing maybe slightly was you lost a little bit in the highs and a little more bass on Bluetooth. Other than that, there was not a significant difference. So how do these sound? Well, first off, to begin, these are not bass cannon headphones. These are not overly thumpy, heavy bass. They're very similar to the way that the Advanced Alpha does bass. Now, these don't have the extension like the Advanced Alpha, but they're a very clinical, very clean, and very clear bass. It's not a deep thumping bass, but you can definitely hear the details in the bass. This does have a slightly warm sound signature to it. It's not overly bright. It's not overly. It's got nice highs to it. It's got detail in the highs, but they're slightly rolled off. You're not going to get a lot of sibilance or anything like that from it. These are a very mellow sounding headphone, I guess would be the word. They're very musical. Um, you aren't going to want to use these if you're playing music live or trying to use them for monitoring of any sort. They're not meant for that. These are a pair for working out, working in the yard, around the house, that type of stuff. These are not made for putting them in and using them during a concert as a musician. Bass, not overly impactful, but it's very present. You can definitely hear everything. It's very detailed. It's clean. Mids are warm, a little forward. They're not shouty or anything like that. They're very, very smooth and very nice sounding mids. And then the treble is slightly rolled off on the top, but it still extends nicely and has a good amount of detail and clear. They're not super wide, don't have a great soundstage on them, but the imaging and detail is there. And overall, yes, I like these a lot. They are a good pair of in-ears for walking around at the gym, at the track, working out in the yard, sitting around the house. If you just need in-ears, you can't have your over-ears. And they play well off of a phone, but they do well also with amps. I find that if you use a portable amp, that they drive a little bit better. They get a little bit more clarity and a little more detail. Not like overly extreme, but it's a very nice subtle touch. Portable devices I use my phone, the LG V30, works just fine with it. And then also at times the Hi-Fi Man Mega Mini, and also, as you saw at the beginning of the video, the Cyan N3. And I actually like the N3 the best out of them all. I find that the N3's DAC really works nicely with these headphones. It's a nice balance to them. So if you're looking for a nice portable, a cheap portable setup, the Adv-Sound Model 3s and the Cyan N3. You have to remember it's the number 3 and the 2 manufacturers, and you have a nice mix, nice setup. The Mega Mini does really well also, but it makes them a little too warm and a little too thick for my preference. Whereas the N3 is a little on the more neutral side and on the DAC, and so that makes the sound match a little bit better, as these are already a little warm. So, folks, that's my review of the Adv-Sound Model 3s. They are a decent $80 hybrid in-ear monitor that can be Bluetooth or as wired. I recommend them as wired, and believe it or not, it's not because of the sound differences, it's just because of comfort. And that could be up to you. You might like that setup, but to me it was just awkward. And then it works with pretty much anything that you use as a source. Also the other thing that I did do, I used a aux cable to RCA and plugged it into my Musical Fidelity VCAN 2, and that works also just fine and sounds great. So if you want to sit and use it at your desk on a lower impedance amp, it works that way also. It does not need a lot of power to drive, but a little bit of power does help make it sound good. So, this has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk, and thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.